Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praises to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother, who is wisdom, who is the Holy Spirit. Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Prayer to the Most High blesses this lesson this afternoon, gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past, in order to understand the events that are currently happening on the earth, so we may get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. Just finished watching that Lisa Cabrera video talking about the pastors, and Most High moved me to make another video and bring out some more information. What we're seeing right now, of course, in this holding pattern, things are happening, but the Most High is exposing the adversary. This was I'm gonna make sure I leave the link in the description box to the video so you guys can check it out. But it was just talking about how when they passed that, that package for the coronavirus through the government, the $2 trillion package, that they allowed churches to be able to apply for grants and loans. Now, many of these loans won't have to be paid back, I'm sure, if they go through certain stipulations and they fulfill their obligations and things of that matter. But what it was talking about was that they could get a $10 million loan. Now listen to that. The churches can get a $10 million loan. And in many cases, they won't have to pay the money back. And they are, pretty much designated a lot of these churches as businesses. That there right now, like I said, the Most High, pretty much within a month of this actually spreading here in the United States, has now exposed these churches as not being places of worship, but being businesses. Do you think that when Yahweh Shai walked the earth, that he was establishing churches that were pretty much lockstep with the government? Now, see, as the Most High is now moving and exposing all of these institutions and what's really going on behind the scenes, you're still going to have parishioners making excuses for the pastor, for the churches, and for the government. See, many of these people who go to these churches are like, they hate the government. They always talk about how they hate the government. They don't want the government to get into, these kinds of matters and things like that. But they'll turn a blind eye to something like this because, I said they don't care about the government. They as long as the government was helping them and helping them only, they could care less. It's when the government actually has programs that help Hebrews and people at the bottom, that's when all of a sudden they have issues. But this isn't a video to even get into that topic. What we're going to talk about right now is that how these churches, who are now dependent upon the government in order to exist. I'm like, hold on, you guys have been nonprofit for many guys generations, years, and you don't have enough money saved up, or you can't just pretty much put it in the Most High's hands and he'll provide for you. So the Hebrews have always been in a situation where we couldn't go to anybody else to help us. So we've always been in a position to have to worry about and to depend on the Most High to take care of us. But as you can tell, these institutions are not of the Most High. They have to go to their daddy, and their daddy isn't the Most High. Their daddy is the, Church of Mahan, the spirits here, spirit of Cain that this world was given to. Remember, the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. So when these institutions need help, they don't depend on our power. They depend on the power that has pretty much raised them up in this society. And that would be the spirits that are in control of the earth. These are the harlots that the Bible was talking about. We're going to talk about, and we're going to show you how that works out right now. But here was a little bit of the one of the stories here that talked about that. Another break from the past. Government will help churches pay pastor salaries. So they're paying the salaries of these pastors. Instead of letting them, get through it on their own, their daddy, Satan, I said, will help them. will help them get through these tough times. That should let you know all you need to know. They're not dependent upon the Most High. Remember, we said before, either it's just two churches, the Church of Mahan and the Church of the Most High. The people of the Most High always have to depend upon our Father to take care of us, to provide for us. These churches, they go to their Father, which is the Church of Mahan. The spirits that have been released here and on the earth, that have been controlling everything here on the earth, that's who they depend upon. So, like I said, it can't be any more clear at this point that these are the harlot houses that were talked about in the Bible. Now, I'm not going to read the story right now. Like I said, you guys can read the story. That's not the point. We see how the pastors are getting paid, except within like a month of the things going downhill here in the country. All of a sudden, now the government is bailing out churches as well. Like I said, the churches here are definitely from that great harlot. And we're going to read about that right now. But see, what it is this. These churches, they're not places of worship. Like they just said, they're a business. And really, they're like they're like prostitutes. If you don't want your kids to hear about prostitution right now, you might want to actually take them out of the room. But it's just like this. You know, you go to the prostitute so she can make you feel good. So she can, make you feel more like a man. So you feel good about yourself. So, after the deed is done and you leave, you feel good. You feel good for a couple of days, but then you need that fix once again. So you go back to that harlot again. You do the deed again, feeling good about yourself. A couple more days again, they go by, and you go back to see that harlot once again. And it's just a repetitious, event that goes on, week by week, month by month. And it is a feel good, a feel good story. And it's a place to make you feel good for a little bit, but you have to keep coming back for more and more and more. That's what these churches have been doing. They haven't been teaching the people anything. They've just been pretty much making people feel good about themselves as they go through this reality. Hence why they call these places harlot houses, whore houses. Because people need that fix. They can't get through the society without that fix. They need that release. And that's exactly what's going on. That's what's been going on. And now the Most High is exposing these places. And without us going in a consistent, on a consistent basis in order to get that fix, give them their money, and they can't survive. So within like a month, the Most High has now exposed these institutions as being businesses that we can now definitely equate to as a whorehouse, because you're not getting anything tangible when you go into these churches. You go in and you leave as empty as you came in. Only thing they do is they play on your psyche, and they make you feel good for a little bit, just like if you were going to a prostitute. No different. And now the Most High is exposing these institutions as well. I mean, many of us have gone to churches our entire lives. And while we were there, we learned absolutely nothing. So then what was the benefit of going to these churches? All it did was give, a feel-good story. They go in there, play a little music. They play that music to kind of get the mood right, just like a whorehouse, right? They set the mood for you and everything else. And then make, you feel good by the time you leave. You think you learned something and you knew absolutely nothing. And you're still itching for that, that time again within a couple days. That's why they got their pastors. They actually have their little assemblies also during the week where you go in there and get your little fix, and Bible study. When you don't learn anything from the Bible, he pretty much goes in there and just, does his little spiel, little dancing, little music. You feel good, play it around, and you leave and come back again in a few more days. That's all that's been going on this entire time. That's why we still got all these people coming on the comment board, running their mouth with no understanding whatsoever. Because they've, drank the cup. And their cup at that time was all the clarified wine. that now the Most High is switching to the dregs. But let's read a little bit. I'm going to read from First Nephi, talking about these churches, okay? Let's see. Let's start at 4. And it came to pass that I saw among the nations of the Gentiles the formation of a great church. And the angel said unto me, Behold, the formation of a church, which is most abominable above all other churches, which slayeth the saints of the Most High, which is exactly what it's done, yea, and tortureth them, and bindeth them down, and yoketh them with a yoke of iron, and bringeth them down into captivity. And that's exactly what they've done to us. Even though now the vast majority of people say that they've gone through the same things we have, we know that was for a particular group of people. And it came to pass that I beheld this great and abominable church, and I saw the devil, that he was the founder of it. So the devil, the Church of Mahan, had founded this church. And I also saw gold and silver and silks and scarlets and fine twined linen and all manner of precious clothing. And I saw many harlots. So now you got all your little harlots, all your other little whorehouses that have now spread out all over the world, worldwide. And now with this COVID-19, or CV, you're now seeing how they've now ran into all this trouble because the Johns that would go in there and frequent these harlot houses aren't going in there anymore. So now, they can't survive. So now they need help. So now they go to their daddy. And who is their daddy? The Church of Mahan. And they're just printing money left and right to take care of everything. But let's talk about right here, harlot houses, businesses. Now, like I said, now the governments have pretty much equated these churches as businesses. And what are they providing? Social services. They're giving some social services, right? Some feel-good services. Same thing. Absolutely no different. Oops, hit the wrong thing here. That's what they've given right here. All right, great harlot, and then the harlots, the little harlots are right here. All these churches, same thing. We're going to read a little bit here from Revelation, I think it's 17 and 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother of harlots. Again, the Babylon is the mother of all these harlots. Babylon, babbling, confusion. And these little harlots do exactly the same thing. The mother of the harlots and abominations of the earth. These little harlots, pretty much like I said, have not taught anyone anything. They've been pretty much used to keep everyone blind, not knowing the truth, not willing or able to comprehend the truth even till now. And now that these harlots have gotten in trouble, like I said, now they're going to their father in order to get a lifeline at this point. Now let's take a look real quick at some of the precepts that are here. I'm going to skip over to Revelation 18 and 2 because that's one of them right there. Let's go. Get there real quick. Revelation 18 and 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. All right. Now let's go and read 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. On read 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, and ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. So the Most High is working to bring people out of Babylon, out of these harlot houses. He's bringing more, knowledge and understanding. He's exposing them. They're now exposed as being businesses. For all this time, they've been talking about how they're being religious institutions and, places where you can get higher understanding of the Most High. Now they've been debased to the point of just being a small business or a business that now needs a bailout at the end because people aren't allowed to go to their services anymore. Again, Babylon and then the harlots. And the harlots are all over the world. And the harlots are being exposed by the Most High every day. So I just wanted to bring a quick video, guys, talking to you guys about these churches and these pastors getting their salaries met, even though their churches are closed, and how the government's come in to swoop in and to help them. And I said, hey, when it was time to help the Most High's chosen people, the governments were nowhere around. When it was time to give recompense to the Most High's chosen people, there's nobody there. But as far as these churches are concerned, that lets you know that they've been down with the program the entire time, keeping people asleep, they've done their job, keeping people asleep, keeping people away from the truth. And now they're being bailed out because those are the times that we're in. And you got people saying things like, well, because I'm not a black only Israelite, that makes it seem like all black people are Hebrews or chosen people, because that's not the case. So because they're talking about people, they're like, well, a lot of black people are catching CV, which we know is a lie. But we do know some are. But like I've said before, not all so-called black people are of the chosen seed. The chosen seed is spread out all over the place into different nations that are going to look like different people, and are going to look like, our people as well. And, and same thing with Esau. Esau is not all just white people. Esau is mixed in with all these different nationalities. I said, we've all been mixed in. I said, so don't put those kinds of labels on myself, because I'm not like that whatsoever. I judge by the Spirit, and I judge by the way that people interact with people, and the way the Most High interacts with people. If He awakens them, I said, so I'm not that kind of that's not how I am as far as all people look this way. I said, those are the kinds of things that Esau comes up with. Esau is the one that comes up with all black people are this, or all white people are that, and anybody in the middle, you all fit into this, category. And that. I said, that's all Gentile stuff. That's what they've been doing. They're the ones that came up with whites only can go in here. Blacks only could go there. Even if, that black kid has a white father, doesn't matter. He's the one that came up with the one drop rule. I said, those are absolutes to the way that Gentiles deal with things, not myself, not the Most High. The Most High, He deals with the Spirit. So, like I said, if you're talking about racist ideologies and things like that, that's what Edomites do. That's what many Gentiles do. I said, that's not what I do over here. So hopefully this quick video here gives a little more knowledge and understanding. You can do a little more research and bring some of that research you guys have into the comment section. See where we go from there. All praise is to the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahushai. Shalom.